So recently, Andrew Tate made a live stream with his brother Tristan, which was on September 11th, a couple of days ago. And as we all probably know, it was the anniversary of the 2001 September 11th attacks. And I think we all know what I'm talking about. And on the live stream that Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate did, they spoke about all of this in depth. And I think this is probably one of the most entertaining and interesting sequences of an Andrew Tate live stream, because he talked about a lot of theories. And honestly, I recommend you to watch till the end, because this was really, really interesting. But yeah, guys, be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe notifications if you haven't already. And also, if you want to join Andrew Tate's The Real World and possibly talk to him, be sure to join the group down below in the description, because you won't regret it. But yeah, just take a look at this clip. It's honestly very, very educational.
I want to give respect to everybody who died in 9/11, because on a serious note, death is not funny.
Nope.
And a lot of people lost their lives.
Everybody who died, all the firefighters, all the policemen, everybody involved.
A bunch of brave men tried to do the right thing, and unfortunately, the way it works in the world, if you're a brave man trying to do the right thing, sometimes you suffer the consequences of that. And that's one of the most beautiful things about masculinity, is that true men take risk on behalf of others. That is a very masculine essence. That's what men are supposed to do. But the reason I'm saying that is because obviously it's the anniversary of 9/11. And for the first time in a long time, I think it's been 22 years since it happened.
22 years.
It's been 22 years, bro. I remember being in school class when everyone started making fun of me.
Yeah, because we were
Americans, saying, ha ha ha, America got bombed. And I remember going, what? I remember being in school.
Yeah,
everyone remembers where they
England,
were.
Isn't it?
That's England. That's England all over.
England,
The English were chanting, in your face, ha ha ha, laughing at us.
I was 13.
I didn't have a clue what was going on. But
do you have a clue what went on now?
That's the real question. There are lots of theories, but do we actually know? And this is what I try and do. I'm trying to sit here now, and I'm analyzing my own worldviews, as I always do, because you must now allow manipulation to find out where your enemy wants you to go, and then use your mind to break the trap and punish the perpetrators. And I try my very best to come up with all my worldviews and my extremely insightful conclusions based on personal experience. I do not trust anybody else, and I don't trust anything else. But I wasn't there. So I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. And I've been reading all day, going down both rabbit holes. The rabbit hole of the narrative story, which is enforced by MSM, and the narrative of people who obviously believe that's all a lie and something else actually happened. And I've been reading all day long on these two opposing theories. And we've reached a very difficult place in society where you can't trust anything anymore. It's almost like if your government does nothing but lie to you, even when they tell the truth, you're not going to believe them.
It's the boy who cried wolf.
It's the boy who cried wolf. So maybe they were telling the truth back then about all of this, but they've lied to us so much since.
About everything.
Everything has been a lie.
The invasion of Afghanistan, the invasion of Iraq, why Gaddafi had to go, Syria, ISIS, COVID.
Everything's been a lie. So I'm now sitting at a point where I don't know what I believe and what I don't believe anymore.
I don't know if that was the last truthful thing the news ever said, or if it was one lie in the beginning of a massive cascade of false information.
I read a super interesting tweet. Let me try and find it. But when all they do is lie to you, it's very difficult to come to any kind of conclusion. Let me find it. Of course. So I've been going down both rabbit holes, and now it's difficult because, especially after COVID, etc., I've had a lot of arguments with people about things, and they try and pull studies up to prove me wrong. I'll say, oh, women can't drive. Oh, misogynist, put me in jail, blah, blah, blah. And they'll say, well, actually, the studies show... Study? Who made the study? The study said take the vaccine. Yeah. Who made this study? Who?
The study
what guy?
Safe and effective. Stop the spread of the virus.
So studies are all a lie.
Transmission.
Saying I want a source for my belief no longer means anything because all the studies are a lie.
Yep.
So if the Matrix wants to lie to you, it just lies about a study. Imagine being the Matrix and you want to lie to somebody about something. Oh, but we can't lie about the study. No, we've lied to them about this, and it's super important for our narrative that they believe in X so we can have world control forever, but we can't just make up a study. Can't just make up pieces of paper from scientist Mr. No Name and say, oh, here's the study proving us completely right about everything. I don't even trust studies anymore because all they do is lie.
Yeah.
So now let's take something. I don't know, global warming. Let's imagine global warming super real. And let's imagine I sit there and say, well, I don't personally believe in global warming. I don't think it's cause for alarm. I don't think that raising my taxes will stop the sun from being hot.
Mm-hmm.
And then they sit and say, but here's a study. I say, who made the study? The guy who wants me to believe in global warming?
Yeah, your friends.
Your mates? Your mates study? I could do a study. I think I'm the greatest man in the world. I think the Tate brothers are the greatest men in the world. Tristan, I need a study. I commission you.
All right, sure. I'm in charge of that study. Head scientist Tristan Tate. I'm going to be in charge of that study. And guess what the conclusion is going to be?
I'm not sure. Tell me.
Well, I think the conclusion of the study is going to be that the Tate brothers are, in fact, the greatest men in the world. And if you ask what my source is, I'll have a study to show you.
Proven. So here we are. So you can't believe a single thing these people say anymore. So then you have to approach it with brutal logic, which is how I approach my life. And like I said, I've been going down both rabbit holes trying to work out what really happened on 9/11. I would never kill myself. But I've sat there and tried to conclude, okay, does the government have a problem killing people?
No.
They don't.
Well, they killed everyone with this vaccination.
All they do is kill people. All governments do is find ways to kill people or make you do as they say. They're pretty ruthless, really. If you don't listen to them, you die or go jail. And if you do listen to them, you sit there and have a terrible life.
Yep.
So they have no issues killing people. So would the government have benefited, or when I say the government, the real government of Earth, would it have benefited from manufacturing something as large as 9/11?
Yes.
And what would the cost have been? Some human lives.
They don't care.
They don't care. It's scary. It's very scary. What's
Very
even scarier, what scared me the most.
I don't have an official position on this, by
Neither
the
do
way.
I.
But it is,
I'm just trying to learn. If any of you out here have proof either way, you have proof that 9/11 was an inside job or 9/11 was exactly as they said it was, I don't know. Please send it to me on Twitter. I'd love to see very interesting studies either way.
Yeah.
If you can prove it either way for me, I'd love to know. Because I don't trust anything anyone says anymore. What is interesting, one of the very few men on Earth I do trust.
Yeah, one of the few.
One of the very few men on Earth I do trust, good old Alex Jones. He said this 2 months before 9/11.
That if there is any terrorism, we know who to blame. The point is, if any terrorism comes, it's from this government. And if there was an outside threat like a bin Laden, who was a known CIA asset in the 80s, running the Mujahideen war, and whose family builds all the military bases over in Saudi Arabia right now, and sits on the board of Iridium Satellite, he's the boogeyman they need in this Orwellian phony system. I want the White House numbers up there now. A big part of this solution, after you research all the government terrorism and check out what I'm saying is true, call the White House and tell them, we know the government's planning terrorism. We know Oklahoma City and World Trade Center was terrorism. We know the Joint Chiefs of Staff wanted to blow up airliners, Baltimore Sun. If you do it, we're going to blame you because we know who's up to it. Or if you let some terrorist group do it, like the World Trade Center, we know who to blame. And you could save the planet.
But let me read this tweet to you because it's very, very interesting. Let me read it out loud here. I'm going to read it from my laptop so I can see it easier. It's from a Twitter account, Sean M. Dav. In hindsight, 9/11 looks like it might have been the beginning of the end of the American empire. It spawned the worst and most destructive foreign policy in the country's history, which is true. Foreign policy, if you want to talk about foreign policy, going to war endlessly is pretty bad in terms of forever wars. The government response to 9/11 birthed the constitutional abomination that is the modern warrantless surveillance state. The Patriot Act enabled the government to weaponize its vast resources against its own people. Bush's failed foreign policy led directly to Obama's presidency and indirectly to Biden's, both of which are responsible for diminishing the U.S. at home and abroad, militarily and economically. After 2 failed forever wars that wouldn't have happened without 9/11, our government is now desperately trying to foment potential nuclear war against Russia. Meanwhile, all of the massive surveillance powers claimed by the U.S. after 9/11 are being ruthlessly deployed against American political enemies of the regime via the most insidious censorship industrial complex the world has ever seen. And then there's the crippling legacy of debt enabled by American response to 9/11. Not content to spend trillions on poorly thought out invasions of Iraq and Afghanistan, our leaders spent as thoughtlessly at home, creating insane amounts of new entitlements while doing nothing to put the country on a sound financial footing. And where are we today? The ruling political party is criminalizing its opposition and attempting to throw its top political opponent and its supporters in prison, all under the guise of democracy. We generally remember 9/11 as the day that the towers came down. I wonder if historians will look back on it as the day that America started to fall. Isn't that sad? It is sad.
Very sad.
And it's sad because the bravery of all those people who died at 9/11, all those firefighters, all those police who did the right thing, all the American patriots who believed in going to Afghanistan and Iraq to defend America, the weaponization of the masculine instinct to fight and defend what you love has been used against us. Hijacked to complete aims, which I don't even know what they truly were or are. I can guess, but I'm not truly sure. I don't think it's what they told us or tell us it's supposed to be.
Well, what was achieved? What was achieved over there?
Very little. What was achieved? 20 years, absolutely nothing. And now we're in a situation where post 9/11, 2001, most people would basically believe the news. But now most thinking people don't believe a thing they see on TV anymore. You don't believe any of it.
I don't.
I certainly don't. So what's true? What isn't? And what I'm scared of is everything can't be a lie, Tristan.
Yeah.
I don't want to go crazy conspiracy theorist and not believe anything because something has to be true. The sky's got to be blue.
Yeah.
So now we have to sit and work out through their lies, which lies are real, which lies are half true, which lies are completely false. It's scary.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a wife who's cheated on you 7 or 8 times and you've caught her red-handed, she might just be going out for a drink with the girlfriends.
She might.
She might. But what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to say when she says that to you? You have to say, I don't believe you, even if she's telling the truth.
So then, as a professional, which I am, I analyze myself constantly to make sure I'm the greatest man on earth. How can I be convinced of something outside of personal experience? This is the question. My life is based on my worldview being deduced from personal experiences. But if I am not personally involved in X situation, how can I be convinced? A study won't convince me. The news won't convince me.
An expert will not.
An expert will not convince me. No, sir.
Oh, an expert.
Oh,
the expert.
Listen to plenty of experts during COVID.
Oh, loads.
Loads of them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't listen to experts. Don't listen to that. Even video won't convince me. I saw the plane hit the tower, but it hasn't convinced me. And now we live with AI and deep fake and fake videos and fake all this. So that's getting even worse. What will convince me? Perhaps the personal experiences of men I trust, the war room in my brotherhood, other men around me who I know are rational, sound, logical humans. Perhaps they could convince me. But outside of that, where am I supposed to get my news anymore? Where am I supposed to believe anything? Everything is a lie.
Where's anyone supposed to get their news?
What if COVID comes back? And what if it's actually deadly?
What if it actually kills you?
Me and you will be the first ones to die running around with no masks on like jackasses.
And what if they invent a vaccine that instantly cures you?
And we won't take it.
We won't take it. We'll die.
We'll be dead on the street. The government's lying. But they made us do. They put us here. We can't believe anything. What if the earth is really heating up? What if Greta was right? What if we pay more taxes
and sell our cars,
we'll
save the planet.
And the sun will stop being hot. Maybe if we stop flying on private jets, Tristan, the sun will cool down. Maybe, but I don't believe it. And maybe we destroy Earth because they've just lied to us so much. Liars. They put us in this terrible position.
They're liars. I don't associate with people that I know to be liars.
Absolutely and utterly not. I like truth. I like living in the realm of truth. And the closer you are to the realm of truth, the closer you find yourself to God, by the way. Whenever you see somebody who says I'm an atheist, what they're saying is they don't live near truth. They live in delusions and lies, MSM garbage.
Now, honestly, everything said in this sequence is insanely true. And I genuinely don't think there's a lot of public celebrities that are willing to speak about this and talk about this. Because what he said is genuinely so true. After the events of 9/11, I feel like that's when the media and that's when the majority of lies about the entire world started to develop. Because hear me out on this theory. If they lied about what happened in 9/11 and everyone believed it so perfectly, then there might have been an idea that they can lie about a lot of other things and get away with it. But honestly, guys, just give me your thoughts on this in the comments below. Click one of the videos on screen right now. That's it, and I'm out.